Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. 200 subscribers is right around the corner, and when we get there, we're going to choose 5 more winners for a future NBA or NFL break. Thank you very much, everybody. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Buff Breakers. Before we begin today, I just wanted to say that the subscriber giveaways for getting to 150 subscriber, the breaks are on eBay. The links are down in the description. I am going to be breaking next Monday night either this NBA Optic Retail Pack or this NFL Optic Hobby Pack, and people were selected off of the 150 subscriber giveaway video. And if you'd like to be a part of those breaks, again, the links are down in the description, or you can join our Facebook group, which is Buff Breakers Sports Cards and Breaks. You can join our group and you can sign up for one of those breaks there for a discounted price. Okay, today's topic is breaks. So we do breaks on this channel. You see breaks all over the place on eBay, on Facebook, and of course on YouTube. So if you were ever thinking about doing a break for yourself, what do you need? Well, number one, you need, as far as the technology goes, you need to have a computer that has streaming software that can connect to YouTube or connect to Facebook, and you have to have the ability to then stream your breaks live, because the only way that a break is really going to function properly is if it is live, so that the people who paid money into your break can see the cards as you are opening them. So you need to have a streaming software. I use OBS. It is a free streaming software. It's open source software. It works really well. I barely scratch the surface of what it can do. So I would definitely recommend downloading OBS to your computer and using that to do breaks. You also need a good webcam. My webcam could definitely be better. I didn't know if this was going to work out or not. So I didn't spend a whole lot of money on a webcam, and I probably should upgrade my webcam eventually. But having a webcam that is at least 1080p, at least high definition, would work well as well. You need a printer, you need paper and ink, and you need a PayPal account so that people can pay you. And PayPal is a really easy way to take payments as well as print off shipping labels and things like that. So those are some of the technological things that you would need. All right, some of the supplies that you would need if you ever wanted to do a break. Well, number one, you need penny sleeves. You need top loaders, okay, for your cards. You need team bags in order to put the cards into before you put them in an envelope. Speaking of envelope, sorry Yoda, Baby Yoda I should say. Speaking of envelopes, you need bubble envelopes in order to ship. You need packing tape. And don't ever use Scotch tape or masking tape on your cards or top loaders. Get yourself some of this painter's tape and use that for your packing. Okay, so those are basically the supplies that you need in order to run a break. And then, of course, the most important thing are the cards that you choose. Now, Wednesday night, I'm going to be filming a video. I'll be opening this hobby pack for Phoenix. And having cards that people want to get their hands on is important. So having hobby packs, having a bunch of popular retail packs, basically, you have to have the right cards, and hopefully it generates enough interest where people will want into that break. Okay. Now, one thing I will say is if you're trying to do breaks in order to have a second job, or in order to make money, you're probably getting into it for the wrong reason. I can tell you right now, after doing breaks for it's only been about 2 months, but it's not a money maker, not unless you are a business. If you own a card shop and you're able to break cases at a time, this is a hobby. For me, this is kind of a form of entertainment for me. It's a hobby. It's a way for me to get my hands on cool cards. and to share my interest in the hobby with other people. And hopefully I'm doing them a favor. Had a break Saturday night, pulled out a $300 Zion card. I actually have one of these for myself, which I'm very happy about. But I pulled out a $300 Zion Williamson card. I was very excited to do that. I was excited to send it out to the person. I even placed insurance on the envelope to make sure that the mail doesn't mess it up. But I'm just excited to see those cards, have them in my hands, at least even for a short period of time, and send them off. And of course, I do get the opportunity to collect some cards for myself as well. So that's what it takes in order to do a break. If you get into a break, a few suggestions I can make. Number one, most of the breaks I've done, in fact, all but one of the breaks I've done have been all cards ship. I believe that all cards ship is the best breaks to get into, because at least even if you don't have a very good break, you're going to get something out of it. The breaks that are most like gambling are hits only breaks. Every hits only break I've ever joined myself, all I've done is contributed to the breaker. I haven't gotten anything out of it. And I got to tell you, I don't think I'll ever run one of those. I'm not going to say I'll never do it because, obviously I can't see into the future, but I just don't see the benefit as a breaker. I mean, I know what the benefit as a breaker is, but I don't see the benefit of trying to scam people out of their hard-earned money. I mean, hits only. If all the breaks I've done so far were hits only, I'd have a lot more money in my PayPal account, because I'd only have to ship out cards to a few people, and everybody else would be paying for it. I might get myself in trouble with other breakers. Maybe people will be going, "Oh, don't say that." But hits only breaks, I'd stay away from them. But to each their own. I don't think I want to run them because I just think all cards ship is a better, more fair way of doing it. Another way that people try to sell cards, another game they play, are Razzes. The way that a Razz works is, let's say I take this card here, which is worth about $150 right now, maybe on the low end, $150. For a Razz, what I would do is I would sell, let's say, 10 spots for $15 each. And then I would run a randomization on random.org, and the person who comes in first place would get the card. And so for $15, they get a $150 card. The bad news is that the other 9 people who paid $15 would get nothing out of it. So it's like buying a raffle ticket. And that's essentially what a Razz is it's a raffle. So you're paying for a ticket, the ticket is pulled, and the winner gets the card, and everybody else gets zero, gets nothing. I've never run a Razz myself, and there's been a couple of times I've thought about it, but actually I think I tried once and it didn't work out. But people do Razzes a lot, again, to each their own. But your odds are however many people there are in the Razz. So if there's 10 people in the Razz, your odds are 10%, 1 out of 10, that you're going to get the card you want, and 90% chance that you're going to lose the money that you put in. Of course, if you win, you get a big card for a small price. One of the other things you might look at when you want to get involved in a Razz, or if you want to run a Razz, is don't be that person who has a $150 card and tries to Razz it to raise $300. So if I have a $150 card and I sell 10 spots, or try to sell 10 spots for $30 a piece, obviously if you win, you're still getting a $150 card for $30, but the person who did the Razz doubled the money of the value of the card. I've seen people take heat from that before on Facebook. Really try to stick around where the card is worth. Because it's, and of course, if you want to get into a Razz, I would definitely look up the value of the card to see if there's 10 people in the Razz, you shouldn't be paying more than about 10% the value of the card for a chance to win it. If you're paying upwards of 20-30%, up to you. I would stay away from it if it were me, but to each their own. The other thing is that you see a lot online are Staxx. Okay, so the way that a stack works is somebody's got a whole bunch of cards in a box, and they have cards like this. This is a chaser card. Okay, so they got cards in a box, and they charge you per pull. So let's say they charge you $1 per pull. So $5 gives you 5 pulls. So you're gonna buy 5 cards out of this, and you can't see the cards. You don't know what they are. Okay, so you don't know that that's Alshon Jeffrey, so you can't see the cards. But there's a chaser, and the chaser would be, let's say it's a Zion. So somewhere in the stack, the person who's running the stack should have a slip of paper inside of the top loader that says that you've won the chaser card. So if I've got a whole bunch of cards here and you pick, I know you say that you want to buy cards number 4, 5, and 6, then out of the stack I would go 1, I'd count it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, right? So 4, 5, and 6. So then I would pull 4, 5, and 6 out, and now you own these cards, okay? If one of these cards had in its top loader a winning ticket, then you'd also win the chaser card. It's a good way for people to dump some of their cards. It's a good way for some people to, build up their cards and gives them a chance of winning a big card for lesser money. But again, it's a game of chance, okay? And from what I've seen online, I've never done one of these before, either as a customer or as a person running it. But but you got to get somebody that you trust. So I would say before you do a stack with somebody, I definitely, if you're in a Facebook group, I would talk to people in that Facebook group and see who runs a good stack or who is just trying to dump a whole bunch of penny cards or what have you. And are those playing cards? Oh yeah. Yeah, Joker. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So pull the Joker, you get the prize. All right, so find somebody that you trust to do that, so that you're not wasting your money, and somebody that people have seen before, have given away their cards, their chasers, so that there's a real chance of getting a big card like this. So that's just a little rundown on breaks, Razzes, and Staxx and how they work. And if you ever wanted to run a break, what the type of materials that you need in order to do that. And by the way, these materials have to play into your cost. So how do I come up with the cost for my break? Let's just take, for example, this hobby pack, okay, this hobby box. When I determine the cost of my break, I got to determine first, how much did this cost, plus tax. Then I have to determine how many people are going to be in the break, and I got to multiply that number by about 3, which is the average shipping cost per person in a break. So then I got to add the shipping costs to the box plus the tax, and then kind of estimate, a fraction of the materials and how much those might cost. And then I give myself a little bit of a tip, and that's what they call it in the business here. It's not profit. It's called a tip. And I can tell you that in the 2 months I've been doing this so far, I haven't gotten much in tips, because I've tried to keep my prices very low, because I'm trying to build something here, and also because all of the stuff I've been buying has been secondhand. I hope all of that ends in the near future. When Panini starts sending out their new stuff, I do plan to pre-order things, getting it at its lowest prices, so that I can keep my prices low, but at the same time, perhaps actually make something of a tip each time that I do a break. But again, this is not a good enough, this isn't like an income that you can just like pick up and say, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna start breaking cards, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of money on the side. No, that's not gonna happen unless you get a pretty big following, unless you start fronting a lot of money to buy hobby boxes and hobby cases, so that you have a lot of supply. And then eventually down the road, maybe if you've got that going on, you might have a nice little side hustle, but it's going to take a while. It'll take a minute before that happens. So right now, I'm doing this for fun. It's a hobby. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying helping people to get cards for a lesser price than paying the full price for hobby boxes and stuff like that. And I am hoping that this grows into something bigger, and I'm hoping that down the road, when my sons are teenagers, which is only in a couple of years or so, that maybe they'll just pick up from where I left off. and run with this if they're interested in it. But we'll see. All right, well, I just rambled on for a while. I know you'd rather see me open up packs. I will get back to opening up packs on Wednesday night. I also have an NBA break on Saturday. And remember that the giveaway breaks, okay, are happening. I'm going to do them both, hopefully Monday night, next Monday night, and hopefully you'll be a part of that. Check the links down in the description. And until next time, keep collecting.